everybody, today I'm going to be doing a really fun video for both you and I. I'm going to be sharing my favorite books of all times to date. This list is a very long list with 16 books on it. I have a lot of favorite books of all times, and not all my favorite books are even on this list because I decided to maybe do a second video about other books that I am in love with, but this is like part one to my favorite books of all times. I've read many books over the years. I mean, like, I read 2 books a week, so it kind of makes sense that I've read a lot of books. Of course, some of those books are going to be out of this world spectacular, and those are the books I'm going to be sharing with you all today, and probably in part 2 of this video, coming to you soon-ish, whenever I decide to film that. So let's get started, because this is a very, very large pile of books. Also, all these books will be linked down below with their Amazon page and their Book Depository page, so you can get free shipping with Book Depository. So if you want to go check out any of these books, please go down below and take a look. That sounded way too much like an advertisement. Check out Book Depository. It's not an advertisement, just letting you guys know. Let's get started. So the first few books on this list are not going to be surprised at all. These are in no particular order except the first 3, which are my top 3 favorite books as of right now. The first book, I'm gonna let you guys guess what it is. Probably got it, didn't you? Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. This book has been my favorite book for about a year now, since I read it last year, and it is spectacular. If you love historical fiction and you also love a little bit of time travel and romance and action adventure, this is definitely the book for you. It takes place in the 1700s. Well, first it takes place in the 1940s, but then the 1700s when the main character, Claire, she gets sent back in time, and she meets a very attractive Scottish lad, and they have a romance, but it's not just about the romance, about the whole entire historical happenings at this time, which is like the Jacobite rebellion that they're trying to get Scotland back from the English. And it's really just so fantastic. It makes you cry, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry even more, but it's happy tears at certain points and painful tears at other points as well. Definitely recommend this. I give all these books on this list a 5 out of 5 stars, so very much recommend these books, especially Outlander. Go read it. Unless you're under 17, then don't read it just yet. Some of the books that I'm mentioning in this video I do not have a physical copy of, but I tend to have the second book in the series of, like this novel, which is the second book in the Bronze Horseman series, and that is Tatiana Alexander. I have not read this book yet, but I've read the first book, which is the Bronze Horseman, and oh my gosh, amazing. This is my second favorite book as of right now, and it takes place in World War II Russia. And it's a romance, but it's also about the hardships and struggles that Tatiana and her family face while in war, about love, death, and just the fight for survival, and it's truly a spectacular read. Just, so good, so good. It makes you feel a lot of feels, very many feels, and makes you very annoyed at certain characters because you're like, why are you even here? But of course, it just adds to the plot line. But oh my gosh, guys, seriously, this book has so much death in it, but it's so good, and it really makes you like open up your eyes to what other nations were facing in World War II. Oh my god. The next book I just finished reading, and yes, it definitely has earned the 3rd spot of my favorite books ever, and that is Passenger by Alex Bracken. Oh my gosh, she is such an amazing writer, and I just love this book so much. It does not come out until January, but January is around the corner, so you don't have to wait that long for it anymore. I'm so happy I got the ARC. When I got the ARC in the mail about a month ago, I screamed, I freaked out, because this is one of my highly anticipated reads of 2016, and to get it in 2015, praise bless. I loved this book. It's also, I have a thing for time travel novels, guys. Yeah, definitely. This book is about a girl named Etta who's thrust into a world of time travel that she never knew existed, and she gets thrust into it with an already known time traveler who knows all what you do when you are thrust back in time, Nicholas. And Nicholas is a sailor, and he's so I love Nicholas, guys. I love Nicholas. He is so cool. He's one of my favorite fictional characters, I think, right now. He's just so awesome. He's really chivalrous. Like, he was born in the 1800s, but like, you know, time travelers, they can go forward in time or back in time. The time travel aspects in this novel were just so amazing. I'm giving a review of this book. No, Sasha, you're doing that review later. Just read this book when it comes out, guys. You're welcome. Next is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book is fantastic. It's about an assassin named Selena, and it's about her being pushed into the world of court life, and about her wanting to become the king's assassin. This book, it starts out like, you know, like a normal book, like you're getting to know the characters, and by the end of book 4, it's hard to believe that it started off where it started off. It's just a very fantastic book, guys. Definitely read it, and it's high fantasy, and I love high fantasy. And Sarah's writing. Sarah is awesome. The next book I do not have a physical copy of with me in my hands, but is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. It's a retelling, a vague retelling on Beauty and the Beast, but with Faye. Oh, so good. It's another high fantasy. Highly recommend it. And Feyre, she is such an amazing character, and Hamlin, and oh, love this book so much, guys. If you love retellings or kind of not very strictly done retellings, like very loosely based, highly recommend this for you. The next book is Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book is about aliens and about a girl, and her name is Katie. She lives in just a normal town like you and I would live in, but what she didn't know is that her new neighbors are aliens. Yes, aliens, guys. Amazing alien book. Oh, the Luxon are like these light beings that can also take on human form, and it's just so good. Damon. Love this. This video is just giving me a really good chance to just fangirl over all these amazing books. The next book is also by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you did not know, Jennifer is one of my favorite authors out there, not just because she comes out with like 3 books a year, but she's just such a fun writer. She's an amazing writer, and her writing just makes me happy. And actually, Obsidian, the book I just mentioned, was the book that actually got me started with BookTube, because it's what made me discover that book blogging was a thing. Thank you, Obsidian. So the next book is also by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this is the 3rd book in the series, but the first book is White Hot Kiss. This book is Every Last Breath that I still have to read, but I don't want to read it yet because I loved White Hot Kiss in the 2nd book, and they were just so good. They were fantastic. But I just don't want the series to end, so I'm gonna hold off on it for like, you know, another month or 2, unless I absolutely have to read it, because I really just want to read it right now, but I don't want to read it yet just because I don't want it to end. The struggle of reading. But this book is about a world where gargoyles and demons exist. And the main girl in this book, Layla, she is a mix between gargoyles and demons who are on opposite sides of a war. And it's so good. It's about the conflict that arises, and it's just amazing. I highly recommend you pick up the series. And Roth is an amazing character. Very, very attractive in my mind. The next book is An Ember and the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. This book is a high fantasy novel about a deprived world. It's like a dystopian world, but it's high fantasy, where there is like governmental control and the military is controlling everybody, and you know, it's just very deprived. And the military in this, it's actually really cool. They have these permanent masks on their faces, which I thought was a really unique like trait in this, but it's in dual point of view between the girl and the guy character. It's so amazing. The guy, he's like the prodigy of the military, but that may not be exactly what he wants. And the girl, she was normal up until the day that her family is taken away from her, and she has to go into the rebellion and kind of create something of herself in order to get her family back. And so good, so good. I really explained that really badly, but it's a hard book to explain. Just down below, just click on the link and the summary will be right there. Summaries are wonderful. The next book is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, but I do not have that book with me, but I have the 2nd book, which is Glass Sword, and I'm currently reading it, and it's good. It's very, very good. But Red Queen is about a world, a dystopian world, that I didn't know was a dystopian right when I first started reading it, because it seemed like it was high fantasy in a different world, but it turns out it's America. Just a dystopian America where people with powers exist. They're split up by the Silver Bloods and the Red Bloods. The Red Bloods are kind of like the lesser people because they do not have powers, or that's what the Silvers think. And the Silvers have these powers, kind of like, I like to explain it like, you know, Avatar, The Last Airbender, they kind of have those type of powers, but there's also other powers that they have, and it's just so good. And it's about the main character, Mare, and she is a red blood but with powers, and she can control lightning. If that does not make you want to read it, I don't know what will. It's fantastic. The next book is Truthwitch by Susan Dennard, and this is such an amazing book. It was also one of my most highly anticipated reads of 2016, but I got it in 2015. Thank you so much, Susan. Oh, I love this book. So this book is about 2 best friends, and they're both witches but have different powers. One's a thread witch and one's a truth witch. A truth witch is a type of witch that everybody wants to have on their side because they are rare, very, very rare, and they can tell truth from lie. And it's about them and the impending witch wars, and it's amazing and crazy and fantastic and just beautiful. The next book I bet a lot of you will be happy to see on this list because it's a newfound favorite book, and that is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. I don't think I need to really tell the summary of this book because probably everybody has read it. I recently just read it and it is just so amazing. It's definitely my favorite book of the series so far. I'm on the 5th book and I love the Harry Potter series. Thank you so much, Teresa.
You're welcome.
For like inspiring me to read it. It's fantastic. I'm in love with the series. The next book is Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. This novel is really unique based on a girl who chooses between getting killed or being the commander's poison tester in this novel. It's a high fantasy. It's so good. I really highly recommend you guys read it. Not a lot of people have read this before and I'm just shocked because this series is fantastic. I'm always just so intrigued in the storyline of all the books and so good. Like, I mean, poison tester. That's a suicide job, but she does it because she doesn't want to, like, you know, die right away. But it's so good. I don't want to give too much out about it because I feel like it's a book that you need to read and kind of understand as you read it. And yeah. I hope that made sense. The next book is Queen of the Tearling. I actually read this book as an audiobook, so I listened to it on the 11-hour drive from Scotland to England this past summer. This book is so good, and if you read the audiobook, or listen to the audiobook, I should say, you're very lucky because that is such a good audiobook. It's probably the best audiobook I've ever listened to. It was like I was watching a movie, and the movie was being projected in my mind. And that's how audiobooks should be. This book is, in quick words, about a queen coming into her rule. In her kingdom that has been destroyed in the years she has been absent. Oh my gosh, guys, this book is just so well done, and it's becoming a movie, so it's another reason you should read it. And Emma Watson, I believe, is starring in it, so just read it. You're welcome. 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnson is another fantastic book. It's a retelling of 1001 Arabian Nights, which is my favorite classic story ever, and it's just so well done. It's about a king who kills his brides whenever they get married for some unknown reason, and it's about the girl in the story, and she volunteers to be his next bride. Read to find out more. So good. Amazing. The second to last book I have is Warm Bodies, and this book is, I've always loved this book. I don't think I would ever fall out of love with it. It's a book that shows the love between a zombie and a human. It's a retelling in a type of way of Romeo and Juliet, of two star-crossed lovers, and it takes place from the point of view of a zombie. Yes, I love this book. And lastly, of course, I have to put this book in this video because it's something that started everything for me, and that is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. You guys know what it's about, Shadowhunters. Yes, very awesome. Love it so much, and I don't think I can ever not love the series because it's really what jump-started all this fandom experience and stuff for me, so thank you, City of Bones, for bringing me into the depths of fandom life. So those are pretty much all the books that are my favorites so far. Of course, there's some books that were left out, but I'll be adding into part 2 of this video coming to you very soon. Give this video a like if you want me to do another one of these videos. I'll probably do it when I'm home for Christmas break, just so I have all the books with me. So that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me down below what are 10 of your favorite books, if you can pick 10, because we all know that a lot of us readers have many more favorite books than just 10. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing a really fun video for both you and I. Is that the right grammar? You and I? Be like this.